The Skinwalker, America's most terrifying shape-shifting legend. Imagine driving alone through a deserted road in the American Southwest. The moon hangs low in the sky. The desert is silent. Then suddenly, something appears beside your vehicle. First, it looks like a wolf, but something is wrong. It's far too large. Its eyes seem almost human, and as it runs alongside your car, it stands up on two legs. You slam the accelerator, but the creature keeps pace. And then, it smiles. For centuries, people across the American Southwest have whispered about a terrifying being capable of transforming into animals, reading minds, and bringing death wherever it goes. Some say it's a witch, others call it a monster, but among the Navajo people, it is known by a name so feared that many refuse to say it aloud. The Skinwalker. Tonight, we're diving deep into one of America's most terrifying legends. A legend so disturbing that even today, many people refuse to discuss it after dark. This is the story of the Skinwalker, and by the end of this video, you may understand why. The origin of the legend. To understand the Skinwalker, we first need to travel back hundreds of years. Long before highways crossed the desert and modern cities rose from the sand. The Skinwalker legend originates from the Navajo Nation, one of the largest Native American nations in North America. Within Navajo culture, balance and harmony are central beliefs. Most spiritual practices focus on healing, protection, and maintaining harmony with nature. But there is another side, a dark side. According to traditional beliefs, some individuals choose to use spiritual power for evil. These people are known as skinwalkers. The name comes from the belief that they can wear the skin of animals and transform into them. But becoming a skinwalker is said to require a terrible sacrifice. According to many stories, a person must commit an act so evil that it permanently separates them from the rest of society. Afterward, they gain supernatural abilities, the ability to transform, the ability to mimic voices, the ability to curse others, and the ability to move with impossible speed. Unlike many mythical creatures, skinwalkers are not viewed as ancient monsters. They are believed to be human beings who have chosen a dark path. That belief makes them far more frightening, because a skinwalker could be anyone, your neighbor, a stranger, or someone you've known your entire life. What does a skinwalker look like? Descriptions vary widely. Some witnesses claim skinwalkers appear as giant wolves. Others describe enormous coyotes. Some report deer with human faces. Others speak of creatures that seem to shift between forms. One of the most common details is their eyes. Witnesses often describe glowing yellow or red eyes staring from the darkness. Another recurring detail is unnatural movement. Animals don't usually move like humans, but skinwalkers are said to. People describe wolves running upright, coyotes standing on two legs, deer walking with strange human-like motions, and perhaps most disturbing of all, many witnesses claim these creatures seem intelligent, not merely aware, but watching, studying, waiting, as if there is a human mind hidden behind the animal's eyes. The voice in the dark. One of the most terrifying aspects of skinwalker lore is their ability to imitate voices. Imagine hearing your name called from outside your house. It sounds exactly like your mother, or your brother, or your best friend. But when you look outside, no one is there. Stories throughout the Southwest tell of people hearing familiar voices coming from forests, deserts, and empty roads. The voices often sound almost perfect. Almost. There is always something slightly wrong. A strange pause, an odd tone, a feeling that the speaker isn't quite human. According to legend, skinwalkers use these voices to lure people into isolated areas. Many families pass down warnings from generation to generation. If you hear someone calling your name in the darkness, do not answer, and whatever you do, don't follow the voice. Real-life encounters. Over the years, countless people have reported encounters they believe involved skinwalkers. One frequently repeated story comes from a family driving through a remote desert highway. Late at night, they noticed a large animal running beside their vehicle. At first, they assumed it was a wolf, But then they noticed something impossible. The creature was matching their speed, at nearly 60 miles per hour. As they accelerated, it kept up. Witnesses later claimed the animal looked directly into the car, its eyes reflecting the headlights. Then it suddenly disappeared into the darkness. Another chilling account comes from a rancher who spotted what appeared to be a massive coyote. When he approached it, the animal showed no fear. Instead, it stared directly at him. The rancher later said the creature seemed unusually intelligent, almost as if it understood everything happening around it. There are dozens of stories like these: strange creatures, impossible speed, human-like behavior, and encounters that leave witnesses deeply shaken. Of course, skeptics argue there are natural explanations: misidentified animals, optical illusions, fear, or exaggeration. But many witnesses insist what they saw was unlike anything they had ever encountered before. The Cursed Ranch. No discussion of skinwalkers would be complete without mentioning the infamous ranch that helped spread the legend worldwide. A remote property in Utah, today known as Skinwalker Ranch. The ranch became famous after reports of bizarre events. Witnesses described massive wolf-like creatures, strange lights in the sky, unexplained disappearances, and mysterious figures appearing in the darkness. Some researchers spent years investigating the property. They documented unusual reports ranging from strange animal behavior to unexplained aerial phenomena. The stories attracted worldwide attention. Television documentaries, books, researchers, and curious visitors. Yet despite decades of investigation, no one has produced definitive proof explaining everything reported there. For believers, the ranch is evidence that skinwalkers are real. For skeptics, it demonstrates how myths can grow when fear and mystery combine. Either way, Skinwalker Ranch remains one of the most enigmatic locations in America. Why the legend survives. Most legends eventually fade, but the Skinwalker story continues to grow. Why? Partly because it taps into universal fears. Fear of the unknown, fear of being watched, fear that something pretending to be human is hiding among us. Unlike vampires or werewolves, skinwalkers are not distant fantasy creatures. They are said to exist right now, in modern times, on real roads, in real communities. The legend also survives because many people who discuss it genuinely believe their experiences were real. Whether supernatural or not, the fear they felt was genuine. And fear has a powerful way of keeping stories alive, especially stories passed from one generation to the next. Conclusion. So what is the Skinwalker? A supernatural shapeshifter? A misunderstood cultural legend? A cautionary tale? Or something else entirely? The truth remains elusive. What we do know is that the legend has endured for centuries, continues to inspire fear, curiosity, and endless debate. And perhaps that uncertainty is exactly what makes the Skinwalker so terrifying. Because unlike many monsters, there is no clear answer, no final explanation, only stories, whispers, and strange encounters in the darkness. So the next time you're driving alone through a deserted road late at night, and you notice something keeping pace with your vehicle, you might want to avoid looking too closely, because according to the legend, if a skinwalker notices that you've seen it, it may already be too late. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most chilling legends, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more mysteries, unsolved cases, and unexplained phenomena. And tell us in the comments, do you believe skinwalkers are real? Or is there another explanation behind the legend? Stay curious and stay safe.